Have you ever stopped and wondered why, say, a software engineer can make 10 times more than a teacher, or what actually decides the interest rate you get on your savings account? Well, it turns out the answer to both those questions is exactly the same. It's this one single, really powerful economic idea that kind of shapes everything around us. So let's break it down. So, is it about how hard you work, or maybe how important your job is to society? Economically, the answer is a lot simpler. It's a market. The real key here is to just shift your perspective a little. Don't think of it as getting a job. Think of it as you selling a product. And that product, it's your unique set of skills.
And the main tool we use for understanding any market is one you've definitely heard of: supply and demand. Now, we usually apply it to stuff like coffee or concert tickets, but today we're going to apply that exact same logic to our careers.
Okay, this is where we have to kind of flip this script in our heads. See, in most markets, like when you go buy a pizza, you're the customer, right? You're the one demanding the product. But in the job market, you are the supplier. Yep, you're the one supplying your skills, your expertise, your time. The companies, they're the customers, and they're demanding those skills. And that price they're willing to pay? Well, that's your wage.
Okay, so let's actually map this out. We're going to use a super simple graph. The vertical axis, that shows the price. In this case, the wage. And the horizontal axis, that represents the quantity of labor, or, just the number of available jobs.
First, let's look at this from the employer's side of things, the demand side. The law of demand for labor is pretty straightforward. When the price of labor goes down, companies want to buy more of it. I mean, it's cheaper to hire people, so they hire more. This gives us that classic downward-sloping demand curve.
All right, now let's flip it and look at it from your perspective, the supply side. For most jobs, as the wage goes up, more people are willing and able to do that job. I mean, if the salary for nurses suddenly shot up, you can bet a whole lot more people would start going to nursing school. And that gives us an upward-sloping supply curve.
And here's where it all comes together. That point where these two lines cross is what we call the equilibrium. You can think of it as the market's sweet spot. It's where the number of people who want the job at a certain salary perfectly matches the number of companies willing to hire at that exact same salary. This is how the market just naturally discovers the right price for a skill.
Okay, so that's how it works for jobs. Pretty cool, right? But what about money itself? Savings, loans, credit, it all seems so much more complicated. But as you're about to see, the financial world, it runs on the exact same engine.
The players here are just as clear. The demanders, they're the borrowers. This is anyone from a student taking out a loan to a giant company trying to expand its factory. And the suppliers, well, that's you. Every single time you save money. By putting money in a savings account, you are literally supplying capital for the market to use. And the price in this market? It's simply the interest rate. Just think of it as the price a borrower pays to get money right now, and it's the reward a saver gets for letting someone else use their money for a little while.
So the demand curve for all of this financial capital slips down for a really simple reason. When interest rates are low, borrowing is cheap. Businesses are way more likely to take out loans to grow, and you're more likely to borrow for a car or a house.
Now for the supply side. When interest rates are high, saving becomes a lot more attractive. You get a bigger reward for just parking your money, right? So as the price, that interest rate goes up, more people are willing to save, and the supply of capital goes up with it.
And would you look at that? It's the exact same X marks the spot. Where the supply of savings meets the demand for loans, that's where we find the equilibrium interest rate. It's that single price that perfectly balances what savers are willing to supply with what borrowers want to borrow. It's the same model, just for a totally different market. Amazing.
So we've seen how markets figure out prices, like wages and interest rates. But here's the really beautiful part. These prices are doing so much more than just balancing the books. They're actually acting as this huge, decentralized information system.
This might be the most powerful idea of them all. A price isn't just a number on a sticker. It's a signal. It's like a flare shot up into the sky, and it instantly communicates a massive amount of information about what society wants and what it has available. And it's these signals that guide all of our decisions, without any one person being in charge. Okay, let's make this real with a quick story. Remember when smartphones first just took off? All of a sudden, companies desperately needed tons of app developers. So on our graph, that demand curve for that skill, whoosh, it shifts way out to the right. Now, this creates a huge shortage at the old wage, so the salary, it has to shoot up to find a new balance. And that skyrocketing salary, that was a giant, blinking neon sign for the rest of the world. It was screaming at college students, hey, over here, learn to code. This is a valuable skill. So what happened? More people learned to code. The supply curve shifted to the right. And eventually, the market settled at a new, higher wage with way more jobs. And the best part? No central planner had to command any of this. The price signal? It did all the work, all by itself.
All right, let's bring it all home. After all that, what are the key things you really need to remember?
Okay, here's what to remember. Number 1, your skills are a product that you sell. 2, interest rates are really just the price of money. 3, these two massive parts of your life, your career and your finances, they run on the exact same simple engine. And 4, every single price, from your salary to a gallon of milk, is a signal, silently and powerfully organizing our entire economic.
And that leaves us with a final thought to chew on. This system is incredibly efficient at processing information, but it's not perfect. So if prices are the signals that guide us, what happens when those signals get distorted and start sending the wrong message? Well, that's where things get really interesting. Thanks for joining me.